There is a peculiar silence that precedes every great transformation. It is not the calm of inaction, nor the quiet of resignation. It is a sacred pause, a hidden force that prepares the individual for an unseen journey. Many walk through life, chasing noise, applause, and recognition. Yet the truth of lasting greatness is cultivated in stillness. That moment of inner retreat is where the seeds of destiny are planted, watered not by chance, but by conscious intention. Have you ever wondered why some people, even with fewer resources, rise beyond the limits of circumstance? Or why others, despite talent and opportunity, remain stuck in a cycle of dissatisfaction? The difference lies not in external possessions, but in the inner posture one adopts toward life. Success, in its truest form, does not arrive through accident, it responds to design. And design begins with thought, with focus, with the invisible work no one else can see. This first step on the path requires one to look inward rather than outward. The world urges speed, yet true progress demands depth. When a man or woman dares to silence distractions and turn inward, a subtle alignment begins to take shape. Suddenly, obstacles no longer appear as threats, but as invitations to grow. Where others see defeat, the disciplined mind sees rehearsal. Where others quit, the prepared spirit finds endurance. In this silence, vision is born. The mind begins to project possibilities that surpass immediate reality. Consider the stories of those who built legacies that endured the test of time. They were often ridiculed, doubted, even ignored. Yet their conviction was never dependent on applause. They acted as if their future was already secured, as though their success was inevitable. This unwavering posture is not arrogance. It is faith applied with discipline. But faith without direction drifts into fantasy. What transforms belief into reality is clarity of purpose. Without a definite aim, energy scatters, and scattered energy produces weak results. Imagine sunlight diffused across a field. It warms, but does not ignite. Now imagine that same light concentrated through a lens. It can set fire to anything it touches. The human mind works the same way. A scattered mind warms ideas. A focused mind ignites them. Clarity is not given. It is forged. It requires asking difficult questions. What do I truly want? Why does it matter? What price am I willing to pay to achieve it? These questions are not comfortable, yet they strip away illusions. In that stripping, the individual discovers something far greater than ambition. He discovers purpose. And purpose has the power to turn ordinary days into extraordinary preparation. Remarkable truth is that every person already possesses the tools to reshape their reality. Not tomorrow, not when conditions improve, but now. The mind, when directed with precision, becomes the most valuable asset in existence. It has the capacity to bend circumstances, to attract opportunities, and to transform defeats into stepping stones. Yet most individuals underestimate this power because it operates silently. It does not shout. It whispers. It does not demand. It invites. Consider this. The greatest wars are fought not on battlefields, but within minds. Doubt, fear, hesitation, these are the true enemies of progress. And just as any soldier must train before facing combat, so must every individual discipline their thoughts before confronting life's trials. When thought is mastered, emotion follows. When emotion is steady, decisions sharpen. And when decisions align with vision, the pathway to achievement becomes unavoidable. In this very moment, you are shaping your tomorrow through the thoughts you permit today. Every image you hold, every idea you entertain, every belief you reinforce, they are constructing the framework of your destiny. That is not poetic exaggeration. It is law. The invisible always precedes the visible. What you rehearse internally will eventually become your external stage. Thus, the invitation of this first step is simple yet profound. Retreat into the silence, clarify your aim, and begin to think deliberately. Resist the temptation of haste, for the man who hurries without vision stumbles. Instead, cultivate stillness, for it is in stillness that direction emerges. The quiet mind becomes the strongest fortress, the clearest compass, and the most loyal companion on the road to lasting success. And so, as we move forward, hold this truth firmly. Nothing external has the power to dictate your destiny unless you grant it permission. You carry within you the architect, the builder, and the guardian of your future. Align your thoughts with your purpose, and the rest will follow as faithfully as night follows day. The unseen battlefield where success is either secured or lost is not in the boardroom, the marketplace, or the public eye. It is within the walls of one's inner chamber. Each human being carries a private sanctuary where thoughts are born, where convictions take root, and where the future is quietly drafted before it ever manifests in tangible form. Those who recognize this invisible domain hold a decisive advantage over those who wander aimlessly, reacting to life without direction. It is not sheer talent, social status, or financial inheritance that sets apart those who rise to extraordinary heights. It is the deliberate mastery of one's internal climate. When storms of doubt brew, when voices of skepticism whisper from every corner, the disciplined mind chooses silence, steadiness, and composure. This is not weakness, but power in its rarest form, the ability to govern oneself before attempting to govern circumstances. Consider how many lives falter because their energy leaks through uncontrolled emotions. Anger bursts forth, resentment festers, fear paralyzes, and envy corrodes. These inner saboteurs dismantle progress before it has a chance to bloom. On the other hand, those who learn to transmute turbulent impulses into constructive energy build an armor of resilience that no external attack can penetrate. The greatest leaders were not the loudest voices in the room. They were often the ones who could remain calm while others panicked. This inner calm does not arise overnight. It is sculpted through daily practice, small, invisible choices that slowly become unshakable habits. Rising a little earlier to collect one's thoughts, refusing to let petty provocations dictate one's attitude, turning down the volume of inner complaints, choosing gratitude over bitterness. Each decision seems minor, but together they form the architecture of greatness. Many chase visible achievements, imagining that recognition will bring peace. Yet the paradox is clear. Without inner mastery, external success turns into a gilded cage, trapping the restless heart. True victory begins when the individual chooses to win battles no one else sees. The moment he disciplines his thinking, reclaims his focus, and directs his spirit toward a worthy vision. This hidden triumph eventually spills outward, shaping circumstances to mirror the order already established within. To build in silence is not to withdraw from life, but to command it. It is the art of channeling one's force without scattering it in 1,000 directions. It is the quiet confidence that does not need validation, because its roots are deep enough to nourish perseverance in times of drought. In such stillness lies the seed of unstoppable momentum. Once a man has mastered silence and aligned his inner thoughts, the next layer of aura emerges through emotional posture. Emotional mastery is often misunderstood. Many equate it with dominance, intimidation, or forceful control. Yet real presence is not loud, it is steady. It is the calm within the storm, the unshakable center that others gravitate toward naturally. Those who cannot govern their emotional responses are perpetually scattered, their energy leaking with every unconsidered reaction. To cultivate this steadiness, one must first understand the distinction between suppression and mastery. Suppression denies reality and builds pressure that eventually erupts. Mastery, by contrast, observes reality, acknowledges it, and responds with intention. It is the space between stimulus and action that allows a person to choose alignment over chaos. When provoked, when tested, when pressed, the man with aura does not flinch. He does not justify. He does not explain. He remains a steadfast pillar in a turbulent sea. Language becomes the next instrument of influence. Words are not mere vehicles for thought. They carry energetic weight. The man who builds aura speaks with clarity, precision, and intention. He eliminates filler, avoids over-explaining, and chooses vocabulary that reflects decisiveness and resolve. I hope, maybe, and someday are removed from his lexicon. They belong to the undecided, the hesitant. Every sentence, every utterance, becomes a reflection of internal order. Spoken or unspoken, his commitments are contracts he will not break, and the resonance of that integrity is palpable to everyone in his presence. The body itself communicates volumes beyond speech. Posture, gestures, pace, and even breath are signals that others instinctively read. The aura builder walks purposefully, gestures minimally, breathes steadily, and commands attention without a word. His body becomes a living testament to the key. Order he maintains internally. He does not fidget or rush. Every movement signals confidence, discipline, and clarity of intent. People may not articulate it, but they sense it, responding to the unspoken energy he radiates. Beyond self-mastery, environment plays a critical role in sustaining aura. Every object, every corner of one's personal space broadcasts energy. A cluttered room, a chaotic workspace, or an untended digital environment scatters attention and weakens presence. Conversely, a refined, ordered environment reinforces clarity, focus, and calm. Weekly audits of personal spaces, removing distractions, and arranging everything with purpose amplify energy rather than dilute it. Those who underestimate this external influence fail to understand that aura is both internal and reflected externally. Energy management is another cornerstone. Each day, one is granted a finite amount of force, attention, and vitality. Squandering it on trivial conflicts, endless small talk, or superficial engagements diminishes impact. The man who builds aura treats energy as capital, investing it strategically. He chooses solitude over chaos, reflection over noise, and direction over drift. Each yes carries the weight of a no elsewhere, and he refuses to sacrifice alignment for convenience or temporary approval. Protecting his schedule, honoring boundaries, and prioritizing meaningful contributions ensures that every action reinforces his field rather than diminishes it. In essence, aura is the external expression of disciplined interiority. Habits, routines, and values are no longer abstract. They are visible in every interaction, every decision, every breath. People may not see the hours of reflection, the disciplined mornings, or the silent commitment to principles, yet they feel it instantly. Presence becomes a byproduct of disciplined alignment, not of performance. This is why those who maintain internal consistency attract trust, respect, and opportunities effortlessly. The final element of this stage is mission. Aura expands exponentially when it serves something beyond the self. A man whose daily life aligns with a purpose larger than personal gain radiates urgency, direction, and authenticity. Others are drawn not to what he possesses, but to what he embodies. A mission gives context to decisions, focus to action, and weight to words. With mission as compass, every no is easier, every priority is clearer, and every movement is purposeful. Energy is no longer scattered, it flows along defined channels, producing results that feel inevitable to onlookers. With emotional posture, precise language, and controlled movement firmly in place, the man building aura turns his attention to decisions and habits. Every choice carries energetic significance. Nothing is neutral. Each meal, conversation, task, or commitment either strengthens his field or diminishes it. Awareness becomes tactical, not abstract. He observes his tendencies, recognizes deviation, and corrects immediately. There is no delay, no rationalization, only realignment. The inner feedback loop becomes a living system, guiding him toward unwavering consistency. Consistency, not momentary performance, is what solidifies presence. Many succeed temporarily, drawing attention with flashy displays or rare bursts of focus, yet their impact fades because they fail to anchor their energy. True aura is cultivated through daily devotion, in unseen acts repeated until they form an unbroken rhythm. Rising before distraction, attending to the small details, protecting focus, honoring commitments, these habitual acts accumulate into a force that is felt before it is understood. Next, influence emerges as a natural consequence. The aura builder does not seek it, he embodies it. Family, colleagues, and clients respond to his presence because it offers stability, clarity, and calm. In meetings, he organizes chaos with principle rather than authority. In conversations, his words instill understanding, not confusion. When tension rises, he does not add noise, he removes it through grounded action. Influence, therefore, is the silent echo of internal mastery. Even beyond personal interactions, aura operates as a standard. Rooms, teams, and entire environments shift subtly in response to the disciplined individual. The man who holds his field affects the collective frequency, not through domination, but by exemplifying alignment. Others sense his steadiness and unconsciously adjust, inspired to elevate their own conduct. Leadership, in this sense, is the amplification of presence, the creation of energetic benchmarks for others to follow. Yet aura is not permanent without vigilance. Many falter after achieving a taste of recognition or fleeting success. They believe external validation is enough to sustain influence, and they relax the disciplines that once forged it. A few neglected habits, minor indulgences in distraction, or unexamined compromises slowly erode presence. The moment consistency is abandoned, the aura weakens. It is the quiet maintenance of standards, daily, privately, without applause, that preserves and strengthens it. Recovery and energy management are crucial in this stage. High-level aura cannot be maintained on exhaustion or neglect. Structured rest, reflection, and solitude are not optional, they are essential. Sleep, intentional downtime, meditation, and stillness recharge the system. The man who ignores these necessities will eventually be forced to recover under duress, losing more energy than he might have preserved through foresight. Guarding vitality is a non-negotiable act of self-respect and strategy. Furthermore, the man with aura understands the importance of reflection. Daily audits of thought, emotion, and action ensure alignment is maintained. This practice is not vanity, it is vigilance. Every evening becomes a review of integrity, a recommitment of values, and a recalibration of priorities. By tracking internal consistency, he anticipates challenges rather than reacting to them. He shapes the day before it unfolds, securing his energy and presence before the world attempts to claim them. Finally, purpose transforms aura into legacy. When presence is anchored in a mission larger than the self, it becomes magnetic and enduring. Others are drawn not to possessions or status, but to the weight and direction of commitment. The man aligned with his purpose attracts opportunities, collaborations, and trust. He does not chase attention finds him, compelled by the gravity of his disciplined, mission-driven life. Every decision, movement, and word reverberates with the integrity of his vision. Aura, therefore, is the visible result of invisible discipline. It is built in silence, refined in solitude, and projected through consistency and mission. Those who master it are not noticed for their volume, but felt for their substance. Every small choice accumulates into a force field that commands respect without demand. Presence becomes proof of values lived, principles honored, and purpose pursued, relentlessly. Presence and aura reach their highest expression when structure and routine are embraced not as restrictions, but as instruments of freedom. The disciplined man understands that creativity, influence, and clarity are fueled by the oxygen of order. Every morning, every decision, every moment is a brick laid in the foundation of lasting presence. Motivation is unreliable. It is fleeting and often absent when most needed. Structure, however, is constant. It shapes action, stabilizes power, and channels energy in alignment with one's mission. Routines are not for control, they are for command. They govern the mind, the emotions, and the body, ensuring that energy is directed rather than dissipated. Even rest must be deliberate. Recovery is not indulgence. It is strategy. Sleep, reflection, solitude, and stillness are all components of an energetic ecosystem that must be preserved and protected. Those who fail to recharge will find themselves chasing their own vitality, exhausting potential before it can manifest externally. Every day is a rehearsal for presence. The room you enter, the decisions you make, and the interactions you have are simply reflections of the internal work undertaken in private. There is no shortcut to genuine authority. It is earned through invisible effort consistently showing up when it would have been easier to quit, completing tasks unnoticed, and choosing integrity over convenience. The man with aura does not measure progress by applause, but by internal alignment. Decisions are the currency of influence. Each choice either reinforces or weakens presence. There is no neutral action. Eating poorly, engaging in trivial arguments, or tolerating low-level interactions erodes energy. Conversely, strategic choices, those that align with mission, values, and long-term objectives, amplify aura. Awareness is tactical. It is the ability to detect drift, correct immediately, and prevent compromise. The aura builder constantly monitors his state, correcting posture, tone, and actions in real time, maintaining coherence between intention and execution. Leadership emerges naturally from this mastery. It is not claimed through title, force, or visibility. It is reflected in the calm authority that organizes chaos, clarifies confusion, and models composure. Teams, families, and colleagues respond instinctively, adjusting their own energy to the standard projected. The influence of presence is subtle yet undeniable, creating spaces where productivity, trust, and clarity flourish. Leadership becomes the natural consequence of personal alignment. Language remains a critical tool. Words must carry weight, truth, and clarity. Excess, filler, and justification are eliminated. Every sentence should reflect identity, vision, and standards. Speaking becomes an act of integrity, a demonstration of alignment between thought, word, and deed. The aura builder communicates with minimalism, choosing impact over volume. People may not recall the specifics of a conversation, but they feel the gravity of his presence long after the words fade. Movement, gesture, and posture are equally significant. The body mirrors internal discipline. A purposeful walk, controlled. Gestures, steady breathing, and an erect posture all signal unshakable confidence. It is not performance. It is expression. The energy projected through physical presence reinforces credibility, authority, and influence. When internal mastery and external expression align, the aura becomes tangible, felt by all who enter the space. Finally, the man with aura integrates mission into all actions. Purpose transforms ordinary routines into extraordinary proof of alignment. The field he builds attracts opportunities, trust, and collaboration without effort. Influence is not sought, it is a natural byproduct of living in congruence with vision. Through clarity, structure, and commitment, He becomes magnetic, not by force, but by the undeniable resonance of integrated presence. With presence firmly anchored in structure, the next dimension of aura lies in peace. True power is calm, not loud. It is the quiet command of one who has integrated all aspects of self-mind, body, and spirit. The man with aura moves through life with clarity, unaffected by unnecessary drama or chaos. There is no pretense, no performative energy, no need to justify pace or principle. His calm radiates, influencing others without effort. It is magnetic because it is authentic, unshakable, and earned through relentless internal alignment. Every interaction becomes a reflection of this peace. When conflict arises, he does not react impulsively. When others panic, he organizes. When gossip spreads, he grounds. His energy remains consistent, his focus unwavering. Others instinctively look to him, not because he demands attention, but because his presence stabilizes the environment. Influence flows naturally from composure. Authority emerges from integrity. Leadership is not claimed, it is recognized in the resonance of his aura. Decisions remain central. Each choice either strengthens or erodes presence. Alignment is non-negotiable. Eating, speaking, acting, or even pausing all carry energetic consequences. The man with aura evaluates every action, ensuring that it serves his vision. Awareness is disciplined and continuous, a tactical system that corrects drift immediately. There is no reliance on external validation. His internal compass dictates conduct. Presence is preserved not through performance, but through vigilance, repetition, and RECALIBRATION. Energy management continues to be critical. The aura builder knows that high-frequency living requires deliberate recovery. Sleep, solitude, reflection, and stillness are not luxuries. They are strategic necessities. Neglecting energy leads to depletion and eventual loss of influence. By protecting his vitality, he maintains clarity, decisiveness, and the magnetic force that draws others naturally. Recovery becomes an active, intentional practice, integrated seamlessly into daily life. Language, movement, and posture remain instruments of influence. Words carry precision and truth. Gestures and walk reflect command. Posture communicates confidence without effort. Minimalism in communication, combined with steady physical presence, creates an undeniable resonance that others intuitively respond to. Every micro-action reinforces the aura, projecting internal discipline outward. The combination of purpose, presence, and physical expression ensures influence is felt even before words are spoken. Purpose transforms every detail of daily life into evidence of alignment. The man with aura does not chase attention finds him. His mission anchors decisions, informs habits, and structures routines. Every yes carries the weight of a no elsewhere, ensuring energy is directed toward meaningful impact. This alignment creates a force field that attracts opportunities, fosters trust, and amplifies credibility. Influence and leadership are not pursued, they emerge naturally from the strength of integrated presence. Ultimately, aura is the evidence of consistent decisions, discipline, and alignment. It is proof of values lived under pressure, of integrity maintained without applause, and of mission pursued relentlessly. The man who embodies these principles does not follow trends. He sets standards. His presence becomes a benchmark for others, a living demonstration of what is possible when life is guided by vision, structure, and unyielding self-mastery. This synthesis of calm, alignment, and disciplined action, the aura, becomes a legacy. It is no longer a temporary effect, a fleeting impression, or a performative display. It is a permanent field of influence, a resonance that shapes interactions, environments, and opportunities. By mastering presence, energy, and purpose, he becomes the type of man success cannot ignore. Aura is not an endpoint. It is evidence. Evidence of internal victory, deliberate choices, and the embodiment of excellence in motion. The final stage of building aura lies in mastery over influence, mission, and legacy. By now, presence, discipline, and energy management have established a foundation strong enough to sustain extraordinary impact. Yet true aura transcends personal power. It becomes a force that elevates those around you. The man with aura understands that influence is not coercion. It is the natural byproduct of alignment. Every interaction, from a casual conversation to a high-stakes meeting, becomes an opportunity to project clarity, calm, and purpose. Leadership in this stage is not about position or title. It is about energetic authority. When others face uncertainty, he organizes. When chaos spreads, he clarifies. His decisions create stability, his silence conveys weight, and his words reflect unshakable standards. People respond to him instinctively because his presence is consistent and intentional. Authority is earned, not demanded, and it flows naturally from a life lived in accordance with mission and values. At this point, a man with aura is also a teacher through example. Actions, habits, and routines communicate more than instruction ever could. His discipline inspires emulation, not through enforcement, but by showing what is possible. Others begin to align themselves with his energy, not out of obligation, but because they are drawn to the example of deliberate, principled living. Influence becomes a reflection of integrity and consistency, magnified by the resonance of personal mastery. The alignment between inner identity and outward action is now refined to a high degree. Every decision is weighed not only for immediate impact, but also for its contribution to long-term presence. Small compromises are avoided, distractions are minimized. Energy is treated as capital, invested strategically in actions that yield the highest return in influence, clarity, and alignment with purpose. In this phase, the aura is not just a personal advantage, it is a field that shapes environments and interactions effortlessly. Mission becomes the compass that guides every action. The man with aura is not swayed by trends, validation, or fleeting desires. He is anchored in a vision larger than himself, and every habit, interaction, and choice is a reflection of that mission. People recognize it in his eyes, posture, and speech. Opportunities arrive, not because he seeks them, but because his energy signals preparation, capability, and alignment. Success is a natural consequence of the integrity and focus that define his daily practice. Even in private moments, discipline continues to be paramount. Daily reflection, intentional solitude, and structured routines maintain clarity and energy. Recovery, not as indulgence but as strategy, ensures the man with aura sustains his presence over time. By protecting his vitality, he safeguards influence and amplifies effectiveness. The invisible work, the silent cultivation of habits, focus, and alignment forms the backbone of every visible achievement. Language, movement, and posture remain instruments of authority. Each word carries intention. Gestures reflect purpose. Physical presence communicates stability. Minimalism in communication ensures that every interaction leaves a strong impression. Presence is now not only felt, but anticipated. Others sense. Consistency and coherence, which establishes trust without effort. Influence becomes inevitable because it is rooted in unwavering alignment between who he is, what he does, and what he represents. Finally, aura in this stage embodies legacy. The man's influence extends beyond immediate circles. It shapes perception, inspires action, and leaves a standard for others to follow. His life becomes the proof of disciplined, mission-driven existence. Through presence, alignment, and intentional action, he demonstrates what is possible when life is guided by vision, principles, and unyielding integrity. Aura is no longer a personal asset. It becomes an enduring field of impact, a living testament to mastery in motion. As aura reaches its final expression, it becomes synonymous with peace, impact, and legacy. The man who has cultivated presence, discipline, and alignment now operates from a place of calm authority. His influence is subtle yet undeniable. His energy stabilizes, clarifies, and elevates those around him. He no longer needs to command attention or seek validation. His presence naturally organizes environments, focusing people on what matters. Calm, clarity, and alignment are the hallmarks of his aura, and they radiate effortlessly. Decisions at this stage carry immense weight. Every choice either reinforces the aura or diminishes it. Nothing is neutral. Meals, conversations, work, and rest all contribute to the energetic field. The man with aura evaluates these elements deliberately, ensuring they serve purpose and mission. Awareness is constant, a tactical discipline that maintains alignment and prevents drift. This vigilance ensures that aura remains strong and consistent, even when external pressures arise. Energy remains sacred. The man protects it, treating time and focus as precious capital. Unnecessary engagements, shallow interactions, and distractions are minimized. Silence, solitude, reflection, and recovery are integrated into daily life, not as luxuries, but as essential practices. By maintaining energy, he preserves influence, effectiveness, and presence. Those around him sense this stability. Trust emerges naturally, and his authority is recognized without force. Influence at this stage is a reflection of internal mastery. Leadership is no longer positional, it is energetic. Others look to him in moments of uncertainty, following instinctively because his presence communicates order, clarity, and composure. His calmness organizes chaos, his clarity directs focus, and his consistency models excellence. Influence is a byproduct of mastery, earned through silent preparation, disciplined action, and unwavering alignment with mission and values. Every micro-action reinforces aura. Language is precise and deliberate. Gestures are purposeful, and movement communicates intention. Every interaction, whether brief or extended, carries energetic weight. People may not remember specific words, but they feel the magnitude of his presence. Actions and habits demonstrate principles lived consistently under pressure. Aura is no longer performative, it is enduring, deeply felt, and evident in the man's energy, influence, and interactions. Purpose defines every dimension of life. The man with aura aligns all routines, habits, and decisions with mission. Attention is directed, energy is invested, and yeses and nos are chosen strategically. Opportunities, recognition, and collaboration arrive organically because the man signals preparedness, integrity, and alignment. Success follows naturally when actions reflect the mission and character embodied daily. Aura becomes a living testament to vision, discipline, and impact. At this stage, aura becomes legacy. The man's presence extends beyond personal gain or immediate influence. It shapes environments, inspires others, and establishes a standard of excellence. Discipline, alignment, and presence leave traces in every interaction and space occupied. Influence and leadership flow from internal mastery and consistency rather than effortful performance. Legacy is encoded in energy, actions, and presence quiet. Undeniable and lasting. The culmination of aura is integration. Mind, body, spirit, and mission converge to form a coherent field of influence. There is no pretense, no need to explain oneself. Presence becomes automatic, commanding, and magnetic. Peace is the natural outcome of alignment, and authority flows effortlessly from consistency and integrity. The man's energy resonates with purpose, guiding, inspiring, and elevating others without force. Finally, aura is a reflection of choices. made in silence, discipline exercised privately, and alignment maintained relentlessly. It is not a trophy or performance. It is evidence of mastery. Those who cultivate it consistently do not chase success. They become the kind of individual success cannot ignore. Presence, influence, and legacy converge to create an aura that is enduring, magnetic, and undeniable. By living intentionally, leading with energy, and embodying principles daily, the man ensures that his field of influence remains strong, lasting, and transformative.